Hello, hello. Welcome back to the New Eden Open. I'm CCP Rise with CCP Fozzie, and this is Gerodian versus the Reputation Cartel in the fourth match of Day 4.
Yes, and on your screen you just saw a crucifier, I think, and then you saw a ship that doesn't want to see a crucifier. This is, or it was a Sentinel, Tech 2. So it's Gerodian versus Rep Cartel, with Gerodian bringing a very drone-based setup, a Neros, Myrmidon, double Vexor Navy issue, Vexor, double Vexor, and double Mollis. And then the Rep Cartel, on the other hand, has brought a higher damage, closer range setup with the Astarte, Brutix Navy issue, a Nero, Sentinel, triple Vexor, and Tristan. The ranges, both of them came in at fairly long range. The max range for Gerodian, about 30 kilometers for Rep Cartel.
Yep.
And this is one of those matches where you need to charge. We talk about, hey, staying back, maybe waiting a bit. If you're Rep Cartel, you know that you're going to be taking drone fire every moment that you're not on top of these guys. And so you need to get there as fast as you can.
Curators dropped instantly for the Gerodian side, so they'll start chewing away straight to begin with. A lot of damps coming from that Gerodian team. The Mollises, of course, bringing those. And yeah, as you said, Rep Cartel just burning as fast as they can to try to catch something, and already a Vexor in pretty bad shape, although he is going to get reps from that on Neros.
But it's not nearly enough. This drone fire from the Vexor Navy issues, the Myrmidon, the Vexors, is enough to, as he starts to stabilize. Oh, there you go. The Neros is now damped out and couldn't rep him, so he's going to die in like another volley or two now. And that's going to be a good amount of DPS off the field for Rep Cartel. They need to get tackles. They need to get webs and scrams on top of this Gerodian team. We do now see one of the Vexor Navy issues tackled. He's getting web, damp, nuded, and nost, and he's probably going to drop pretty quickly. But meanwhile, the Neros of Duck Slayer for Rep Cartel is taking fire.
And Gerodian actually playing this pretty well for now. They've spread out, maybe not as much as they could, but quite a bit. I mean, they're not all sitting on top of each other. They're not sitting on top of their drones. And it's going to be a really tough job, but you can see there's still no reps coming from the Rep Cartel of Neros onto that new Vexor target. He's, because of the damps, just not able to keep up. These Vexors, of course, charged, and looks like he just went down. Yep, down he goes. So not going well for Rep Cartel.
Meanwhile, the Vexor Navy issue for Gerodian is tanking actually really well.
Yeah.
He's got reps. He's not going down quickly. This is a huge start for Gerodian. In a lot of ways, Gerodian setup flies much like the Gila setup we just saw in the last match from Last Huzzah. One of the big differences, though, is the Rep Cartel doesn't have the same kind of frigate wing. That Providence team had a whole wing of assault frigates and Merlins to tackle the kiting drone team. Rep Cartel only has one Tristan and then has to rely on its Vexors for tackle.
Yep, and it's just going to hurt so much for them. They are finally breaking through this Navy Vexor. He probably is going to go down. Damage actually slowing coming the other way, probably because they're trying to kill that Sentinel, it looks like.
They got a lot of damage on the Aneros. He's been boosting with a shield booster. So that Aneros is, looks like dual tank. Looks like he's got some armor rep bots, and he had a ASB on. So if he can survive until his ASB reloads, then he's going to be in a pretty good place. But that's what his goal. He needs to survive for about probably another like 45 seconds for that ASB to reload. And I don't know if he's going to do it as he moves slowly through armor. The only real hope now for Rep Cartel is they need that Aneros to hero survive, just absorb a bunch of damage, and allow them to pick off some more of these Vexors. Vexor is a perfect target now for them, and they're going to try to bring it down.
I don't know if they've been killing him, but that Oneros, piloted by Duckslayer, has no rep drones on him anymore.
Yeah.
He's still doing pretty well. He's not tackled, so he's kind of able to go wherever he wants, but he is taking neutralizers now. And
he is repping, so it looks like he's got a local armor rep as well. I don't think it's going to be enough to keep him alive, though, because he's not. Yeah, he reps a little bit, but he is going to die, and that is going to be a huge loss for Rep Cartel. They really needed him to hero survive.
Yeah, that's not enough. I mean, they also got so little damage the other way in the meantime. The Gerodian team spread out quite a bit. Rep Cartel taking so long to get to their next target. They now are putting damage into a Vexor finally, but their ships are going to go down even faster than the first two did now that they're without logistics. Just not looking good at all for Rep Cartel.
Vexor for Gerodian is dropping, but in the same time, the Brutix Navy issue taking a bunch of damage of Bob Shaftos, the captain for Rep Cartel, and I think that Brutix Navy issue is going to die before almost anything else dies on the Gerodian side. So this is very, very bad news for Rep Cartel. And
Tristan was doing his job, ran over and got a tackle on that next Navy Vexor. He's getting nuded by the Navy Vexor, so that web falling off, and Vexor trying to burn, but we'll see if they can catch him with one of the cruisers. You can see, now the Vexors and the rest of the kind of cavalry showing up There's still logistics, though. That's going to start to be so hard to get through for
Yes.
them because of
At this
having
point,
so little damage left.
only 3 damage ships. There you go. So the British Navy ship was tanking pretty well, but they've almost alpha the Sentinel down and switched more damage onto the Vexor. Another good choice. We'll have to see how quickly it goes down. Vexor Navy issue of Serena there for Gerodian is taking him damage as well, but is being repped, and it's only really now a matter of time. I think this is, the damage trailing way off. If that Vexor Navy issue goes down before the Vexor for Rep Cartel, then Rep Cartel might actually have a hope at this, because then it would just be a Myrmidon and a Vexor doing damage versus an Astarte and Brutix Navy issue.
That's true.
This actually isn't completely one. Now the Aneros is so key in this because Gerodian has the reps.
Yes.
Rep Cartel doesn't, ironically. And the Aneros, as the fight goes longer and longer, as the damage slows down, it's getting harder and harder to kill something through those reps. They were able to kill the Brutix Navy issue, but once they lose a Vexor, or the Vexor Navy issue, sorry, once they lose one of their Vexors, it's going to be harder and harder for them to apply enough damage to break all the way through it. So they need to kill that Aneros, and they just don't have any ships fast enough. That Sentinel is probably the only hope they have now, if they can get on top of the Aneros and maybe nude it out.
The Vexor, I think that this Vexor is awesome, piloted by Nbonga. He ran away from the middle of the fight to tank for longer, and he's killing a Maulus. He tackled him totally away from the fight.
He's probably going to die. The Maulus beat him, though. The Maulus just beat him. We've now got damage applied to the Myrmidon.
Wow, going for the Myrm.
I think it's their only choice. I mean, nothing else is probably close enough. They really need to kill that Myrmidon is breaking, though.
They had damps on the Aneros. He didn't get reps onto that Myrmidon until just now.
We'll have to see how well the Myrmidon tanks with the reps on him now, as the Brutix Navy issue taking a lot of fire as well. That Sentinel of Suleiman Shua is, again, flying very well to keep himself alive. He probably moved well away from the fight. What he does is going to be very important. If he can somehow get on top of the Aneros now that he's survived in structure, then that's going to be something that could really help them, as the Myrmidon is going into low armor. If that Myrmidon dies before the Brutix Navy, then it's just a Vexor's worth of damage from Gerodian.
Wow, I can't believe they're actually able to get
through
the Aneros reps.
Of Larconis could actually basically just finish this match by himself at that point.
Oh, he's going into structure. The Aneros is so comfortable, too. Like, he's just putting all his reps on him, no problem. No neutralizer pressure. He's not close enough to get tackled.
The Myrmidon is going to die first.
Is he going to really go down?
He's going down. The Myrmidon is dying. So that means the Brutix Navy issue of Bob Shaftos. All right, with the Myrmidon dying, Rep Cartel pulls ahead on points. If, however, the Brutix Navy dies...
they got him.
Okay, so Rep Cartel is now ahead on points, but the Brutix Navy issue dropping would put then the Gerodian team back ahead.
The other really crazy thing is the Vexor dove in to try to finish the Brutix Navy issue.
And is now tackled.
He was right next to them because he came in really close to get the turret damage as well.
Now it's that Vexor versus the Brutix Navy issue. I think the Vexor's probably going to die first, but he probably won't be able to hold up against the Astarte. So what will it be then? An Astarte and a Sentinel in structure versus an Aneros and 2 Mauluses. I don't even... Wow. Okay.
If they finish the Brutix...
The Gerodian, what they need to do is get the Brutix Navy issue down and then tank the Vexor. I don't know. Can this Vexor tank with only an Astarte on? And we're going to find out. I'm sure they're all overheating at this point. It's going to be close, though. That Brutix Navy issue is surviving in structure for so long. So much structure on the Brutix Navy issue. If it goes down, if the Vexor dies before the Brutix Navy issue does,
it's going to happen.
There's no damage left on the Rep Cartel team. On the Gerodian team. That means that those 2 ships, Suleiman Shua's Sentinel, Bob Shaftos' Brutix Navy issue, nothing can kill them now.
No.
There's maybe drones from the Maulus.
Yeah,
but there's
no.
They're just gonna sit the rest of this match in structure. The Sentinel is gonna die to the Mauluses, I think. Can you take a look at where the Sentinel is here?
Sure.
He must have Maulus drones on him.
It doesn't make any difference.
It must have Maulus drones on him. What is killing him? There's some drones following him.
There's some
hobgoblins. He can outrun hobgoblins,
though,
as he is in this tiniest sliver of structure.
Yeah, he does have to turn here. He might actually go down, but it doesn't matter, right? I mean, they lose.
They've caught the Aneros, though. All right. While we were talking about that, the Aneros got caught. I mean, at this point, he had no way of winning.
Wow.
So that is going to end it. Now, the only question really is whether Suleiman Shua is going to survive. But one way or another, Rep Cartel is going to win this. Those Mauluses, unless they let themselves get caught, are not going to get caught. So we have now a minute 25. As I say that, he gets tackled. So it probably just means he charged in to have an honorable death here. We have only 1 Maulus left. That means there's 1 less set of hobgoblins after Suleiman.
Jeez, what a crazy match!
Wow, I had given up on Rep Cartel there.
Yeah. They
And
looked like they
then-
were in terrible shape. They lost 2 Vexors before killing anything.
And then they lost their Aneros, and they didn't have the reps, but their ships just tanked for so long. It was excellent piloting, like you said, on the Vexor to pull away Nbunga's Vexor, get away. Same thing that Suleiman Shua is doing here, of just running away, surviving.
Yeah,
And-
Duckslayer also survived quite a while. I mean,
Mhm.
he was their first target, yeah. And if I remember right, and took,
Yeah.
you know,
Just he survived
all
for
their
quite a while.
damage for quite a while, ran around, and actually provided some reps in the meantime as well. And I don't know. That's just...
That is a amazing match. We only have 34 seconds left. I'm going to be switching off for CSP Dolan after this. So in the last 30 seconds, I want to make sure that I get this out, that I was right and CSP Vest and Prishna was wrong. Therefore, I am obviously more of a man than him.
Great
and
job.
if he holds up to his bargain, you're hearing the opposite of that statement on the Russian stream right now. So we only have 13 seconds left. It looks like Suleiman Shua's Sentinel is going to survive in the barest sliver of structure. They need to save that money, of course, because they are now out of money entirely.
That's true.
So
This
every
is rough
Sentinel counts.
For Rep Cartel, they lost a lot of ships.
But that is time. Rep Cartel knocks out Gerodian in really an amazing match. Like, that was really, really great piloting on both sides. Extremely close. And that is Gerodian out of the tournament. Rep Cartel, meanwhile, will be up against Dyslexidus Weeby May a little bit later today.
Good stuff.
And we'll see you back in just a moment.